Should be working. Monitor up. That does not seem to be going live. Oh, there we go. Where's my controller? Okay. Let's pull me back away from the camera a bit. Okay. Ready. Patch came in. Made some adjustments to how sprint and dash works. Little fixes. And they fixed one of my problems I encountered with Echo. Where I wasn't able to gift her because apparently I didn't wait long enough.
Upon this cauldron by the will of night.
Hear me, shades of the dead, and listen well. Your strength is needed now to join in the fight. Upon Olympus and in depths of hell. Within these crossroads, you are safe with us. Yet we would ask your service to our cause. Your will is yours, your choice is given thus. Together, let us rise above our flaws. So mote it be.
Mote it be.
Our voices joined, thus we remain unseen.
Right.
Hail, broker. Be well. May moonlight guide us.
Yes, ma'am.
I was hoping I could do something with her there.
Hail, spirit.
You invoke me?
Death to Kronos.
Why don't I ever see you in the training grounds anymore? You used to let all your aggression out over there, but now it's like you're saving it for me.
Don't flatter yourself. Saving it for Kronos. And the training grounds increasingly are custom fit for you, in case you haven't noticed. From that altar to the weapons display.
I'm the only one who uses it.
Need my space.
The room's empty.
Which
Another
direction?
testament awaits.
Definitely down. And if I'm going down, what resources do I want? I'd like more lotuses. But lotuses aren't affected by the new way that the resource gathering works. Is you can now collect anything you've unlocked the tool for, but the tool you bring determines what is more likely to spawn.
Hence I go. Apollo.
The night is young and I found you already. You don't suppose some of my sister's tracking skill is starting to rub off on me, do you?
Not really, no. The attacks in a larger area, specials in a larger area, Omega Cast repeatedly strikes the area. This weapon, I'm thinking
Greater strength. More.
yeah, that larger area is pretty handy. Admittedly, having a larger area for the Skull Blast would also be pretty defensive.
Why, the flamboyant god of light has put a little sparkle on you, hasn't he? Shines like the sun, Apollo does, oh sure. But there's more than one way to light up a place, you know.
So I'm pretty sure that because she mentioned Apollo, if I take another Apollo boon, it will likely have a duo boon with her. Your sprint destroys projectiles. 6 scorch per projectile. Hold cast to aim. Oh, I always like this fireball. I also always like destroying projectiles.
Whew, that's hot.
Oh, that's hot. There it is, Illinois.
Splinter apart. A gift.
It's definitely an odd weapon to use. Let's see, 10% health restored when you entered location for 3 locations. Oh, 20% faster for 8 locations. Ow. Oh, these guys. Hate it when they have the armor. That is one thing I definitely would like to see a change in how armor works. Much preferred the way it worked in the first game.
Difficult to track, and yet she willingly revealed herself to you. Either your reputation grows, or does the desperation of the gods.
So I would actually prefer if instead of giving a lot of enemies armor, they left their health alone and just made the fact that they're not flinched a part of that unit. And putting it on the Banshees here would actually be a really good one. It encourages you to use your cast to hold them in place, since they just keep damaging every time, you know, with their little wave attack. That's what taught me to the value of using my cast to hold them in place. So, crash down on a target location for 200 damage. 80% slower. Blast for 1,000 after 4 seconds.
Your foes shall shudder.
Okay. Now, so if I take Apollo, I'll probably get a duo. Either way, I'm up against a boss.
A root stalker.
A boss I don't like.
We got them, Homer.
Okay, standing in your cast restores magic. I was really hoping for a duo here. Attack has a 8% chance to hit 2 times. Mega cast every 15 damage every 0.13 seconds for 2 seconds.
Splendid was the princess in her fight.
Haven't heard the narrator in a while. Homer. Yeah. Didn't even use the warding spells. Ooh, Hestia and Apollo.
Choose one, spurn the other.
Smart girl.
Go down to 80 health. It'll also, I believe, reduce how much health I gain from anything that does give me health. Or +2 power, so that'd be +4 power. Pretty likely +6 once I take his as well. Yeah.
Fired up.
You wound me, cousin. After everything we've been through together, you'd brush me off so easily.
I don't want to choose between you, but you don't give me a choice.
I need to calm him down. Got you.
Come on. Oh, gotta claim it first.
Well, so much for that lot. May my blessing serve you better than them. You are.
So whenever you take damage, restore some health. 30% over 5 seconds. Yeah. Or my attacks deal more damage in a 60% large, or
Oh,
in a larger area, 60% extra damage.
the honors, please, Phrynos.
Peace for the dead.
Should stay in the circle.
Okay, apparently that doesn't protect me from that.
As expected.
Wait, no, that was my own. Isn't it? Yeah. That's Apollo's after... after Omega Cast. Store 10% when you enter location. Cast deals more for 5 encounters. Oh, sorry, Arachne, I've gotta...
Her foes are nowhere to be found.
Okay. I want to take a prophecy. So every 2.5 seconds, your shells deal damage around them based on 50% of your attack. Oh, so leaving them on the battlefield could be useful. Mega special projectiles deal more damage and shoot further, but only to one side? Huh.
Did this skull just smile?
Okay. It's an interesting...
For me.
Okay. Hey, Hestia. You gonna give me a duo with Apollo?
Olympus, I accept this message.
No. The +6 power to my attacks and specials.
Getting warmer.
Breathe. You
using the Argent Skull of Rafal now, are we? You're becoming a most capable necromancer to have earned its trust.
Was this once a living creature's skull, Headmistress? Only to be infused with silver and enchanted as an instrument of night.
That is rather a personal question, considering all evidence at hand. Perhaps Raval herself shall reveal to you the answer in due course.
Crossed flames awaken!
I think not. There, yes.
Fire!
Oh.
The moon.
Oh. Nope.
Wrath of the moon.
No.
The Twilight Curse.
Kataskian Aski!
All of them? Yeah.
The moon.
Oh, that wasn't the real one.
All right, stand down.
Guessed it right.
May you show even greater wrath against the enemies awaiting you below.
Outlasted her. From the oath.
Or nightmare.
You.
Granddaughter. Aye, here comes our shadowy assassin on her nightly escapade to try and do me harm. Although perhaps the outcome shall not be so fortunate this time.
We'll soon find out, won't we? I promise not to keep you waiting long. I'm well on my way already, as you can see.
Oh, that I can. Then I had best return and make ready. We have to tidy up for your arrival, after all. Until later tonight.
Until then.
I'm not super confident in this run.
Which one would help? The hammer.
So I got Possessed Array. Your shells fire your Omega attack for 0 whenever retrieved. You take longer to drop. Oh.
There.
That's pretty useful. Definitely has its downsides, but...
You should have stayed in shadow.
Oh, nice.
What the? Ensnared. We did it, Freenos.
Freenos, no!
Seleni's hidden strength.
Definitely useful, but I don't know that I actually like the way that it's doing the pickup blast and taking longer. Print destroys most ranged, goes to 8 damage. And 20 damage per hit on the solar ring. Plus 70.
Excellent stuff. Hideous thing.
Yeah.
Where'd you get off to, Witchy? The underworld's got it from the looks of it, all cold and wet. Piss poor working conditions, that much is clear.
Witchy. So I'd gain about 40 health if I took the top one. Yeah, I think I like that. Except it didn't give me 40 health because I have that thing that makes it so I have 20% less health, which includes the things I gain it.
Here goes. Hi, Nem.
Again.
Death to Kronos.
Nice try. Always used to be gold in the underworld, right in its veins. But Kronos turned it into little coins. All over the damn place now.
Lord Charon's going to take care of it soon enough. I give him all the gold I find. Trade for his wares.
I think I can do the same if you want to make a deal. Don't worry, any gold I get from you, Charon gets from me.
So he'd take 78 gold, and I get 100 bones. That is more than I would get at a well of Charon. Oh,
It's a deal.
She knocked me out.
yeah.
I'll slay you all. Stay where you are. What did I say? May moonlight guide us.
You're taking something of a scenic route down to your father's house. Gramps has the major regions of the underworld locked down, so come to think, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Okay, cast costs 50% less whenever you are stuck Struck. You may dodge 10% chance to dodge any damage. And you slay a foe, deal more damage for the next 30 seconds. Dodging. Only 10. Took me way too long to kill him. Because it just took so long to kill these kind of guys. Don't like how little health I got. Reno's got that. But I would.
Don't normally play private events, but for you, lady, we'll do anything. And here we go! He's the featured artist. Okay, Roxy's out. Right. Now it's just skilling the fish. That's probably the fastest win on them I've ever had. Sing about that. Another pearl.
Where is Hestia?
Should keep me company.
After the duration, restore 50. I'm already at full. Next well is after 2 guardians. Chaos Gate.
Enough.
Sure.
Closer now. Mustn't stay for long. Why not?
The spark of Ixion brought you to me, an ember from the flame forever burning in the underworld. Its light reveals gateways into my abyss and relieves the common side effects of entering. I recommend continued use of it.
So if I did this, I take more damage for 5 encounters. Then I will be getting 6 more power for my attacks and specials. Yeah, I like that.
I understand and accept.
More shades. Illuminate my path. Got them, Phrenos. Can't take this yet.
Whew. Yeah. Impervious for 2 seconds every time I jump.
That should have done it.
And Apollo or Hestia.
The Phantom. Got you. vanished for now.
Okay, so now my skulls won't explode when I pick them up. Gain bonus health and bonus magic, but give up one that she select. Uncanny Fortitude. Uncanny Fortitude. Gain bonus based on... No. No. I mean, it would be slightly more, I think. Not actually sure about that. Let's see. Omega Special also launches a fiery projectile, but uses 10 more magic. Hold cast to aim the fiery projectile that explodes on impact. Yeah.
More of those shades. Flourish.
And I'm out.
I can do this. It's over.
Gotcha.
Mourners.
Oh.
Don't you come near me. Withstood that chaos curse I had.
Yay. Your specials are 35% faster. Your specials have plus 45 power. And you take 30% less while using it. Yeah.
The skull gleams
Sounds
anew.
good to me.
one again.
Okay. So we're at 4 p.m. Destroys, cast for more. Specials deal more in larger area, yeah.
I think I'm finished here. Go show that shade the way.
Uh, da, 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 da. Never saw Echo.
I'm going to help you, boy, no matter what.
Okay, so I can't diffuse those big fireballs from him.
Hello?
Hello. How is it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just fighting a big infernal beast.
Nice.
And I did indicate on my postings that while I'd be starting with Hades 2, that I'd likely be transitioning to writing.
Gotcha. How am I not following you? I was. Oh. That is remedied.
Forgot that I have a ranged cast.
Nothing matters. Not true.
I forgot. Have you played this one?
No, I've watched some people playing it though.
Yeah, unlike in the first one, your cast being centered around you, It's a very different feel. But right now, I have a particular boon that is giving me a ranged cast. And given that this particular weapon has limited ammo for its regular attack, having a ranged cast is very helpful. Getting a lot lower than I would like. Yeah, you always have to go and retrieve your ammo, and you only have 3 slots. They've also made some cool updates to the sprinting. Ooh, no! Because, like, in the last game, obviously, you just had the dash, and that was it. But here, they've got it so you have a... If you hold down the dash, then it goes into a sprint. You're not invulnerable during it, but... you are faster. And there are certain boons that can sometimes be based on it. So I've got one that it can destroy projectiles if I sprint near them.
Oh, that's useful.
And whenever I do so, it also sets them on fire briefly. It's very little bit, but I mean, it helps. Come on, I'm almost...
You shades, leave him alone.
Cleansed of his thick miasma coat.
Oh, what have you been working on lately?
I've got to fix Rob's machine, but I've been working the past few days. Which they're 12-hour shifts, so I don't get much else done.
Yeah. So, no writing?
Finished reading Tress of the Emerald Sea.
Sounds interesting.
It's one of Brandon Sanderson's secret novels that he wrote during COVID.
Secret novels?
Yeah, so he wrote some novels and shared them only with his wife until they were done. He kept them on a separate account on his cloud drive, so his team couldn't see them at all.
Huh.
And then he released a Kickstarter to get them published. Kind of jump-starting because he wants to do his own publishing company. Called Dragon Steel. But it was a classic adventure story.
I'll take it.
Cool. Oh. Clear this encounter to safely quit. Can't do it in a restroom? Like a fountain room? Ridiculous. I was gonna, quit and pull up story stuff and so we could get going on that. Oh wait, can I do it in here? Yes, I can. Alright. Alright, and I'll change status. Title. Right. Writing, review, and reading. Titles.
A wake up alarm.
Music and art. Update all. And do I have this set up ready? Yes, I do. All right. So we want to read yours or?
Sure.
All right.
I don't have it on Google Drive yet. I can throw that up real quick. Just on my script here. It's kind of, I've got, it's probably about a page and a half or so. But it's the inklings of it idea.
Okay.
Give it up.
Lately, I've been working a lot more on my on both Esprior and Esperb stuff.
Okay.
Writing a bunch of class guides for well, the extended classes guide is what I'm actually calling the main document. But and that's all as if written by somebody who's living playing the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've got some scraps. I need to share it.
What was I doing there? Right. I left off where Kalkan was under attack and needing help from her server.
Okay, that link's on the way in Discord.
Alrighty. Discord from Watch. Okay. I'm in.
All right. I'll start from the beginning.
Okay.
Frank stood silently as his world walked away from him, perhaps for the last time. Long red hair swayed with each step, her shoes echoing in the courtroom halls. His whole body ached and he felt the swelling behind his eyes, but he knew the tears wouldn't come. They never did. He wanted to curse his misfortune, curse the heavens themselves, blame every circumstance. The long working nights, the market wiping out their savings, anything. But he couldn't. She was gone. He knew why. He was why. If only he knew the consequences of his frivolousness. If he could go back and warn himself, but no. There was no going back. Not for him. Gina was the only woman who'd ever understood Frank. The only woman who ever got close enough to get a deep, long look at who he was on the inside and not recoil. He wasn't a monster, but he sure as hell weren't no saint. And then I'll add something with the court clerk there. Next chapter. Frank stared longingly at the hot dog cart. He hadn't had a good bratwurst in ages. Or white bread, for that matter. He willed himself to walk past the cart, and the next one, and the next. Feels like there's a cart at every corner. Hot dogs, tacos, some other third street food. All things Frank had given up for years. He found himself standing in front of the deli. Fuck it. He'd already reached his limit for high cholesterol foods for the week, but if anything was going to get him through the day, it was a roast beef and Swiss on rye. Frank! Jim at the counter lit up, seeing Frank walking through the door. What's the third best detective in the city doing this side of Fifth? Frank suspected he'd lit up for most anyone, but it still felt nice to be recognized. Fourth best, Frank chuckled. The new kid from Tacoma solved the Picone murder last week single-handed. Nah, single-handed, huh? Well, I may have given him a pointer or two, but still, the kid's got chaps. That's my guy. What'll it be, the usual? Oh.
I assume that's supposed to be the same sentence.
Yeah.
Or line.
You even remember my usual? It's been months, maybe, since Frank last stopped by. You saved Betty from a burning building. Least I could do is remember a sandwich order. It was a tool shed, and Betty is just a cat. Just a cat? That little lady is what got me through the divorce. Not all of us can have perfect romance like you and Gina. Frank winced. It had been a while. Not even we could, it turns out. Gina divorced me today. Oh, Frank, I'm so sorry. Don't mention it. I mean it. Well, this one's on the house. Thanks. And Frank, think about getting yourself a cat. Chapter 3. So Frank sat in the office he'd spent so many hours in that he should have spent at home. Slowly, he unwrapped his sandwich. As he heard the door downstairs slam open, he popped open a sugar-free soda. As the footsteps came closer up the stairs, Frank settled into his chair but opened the desk drawer that held his revolver. The door flew open, and one of them stepped in. Frank had no issue with most people. He could care less about color, orientation, or what have you. But this type of person? Always a headache. Frank sighed as he picked up his sandwich. I don't have time to explain. Come with me if you want to. Yeah, listen. I just sat down to a roast beef and Swiss. Doc says my cholesterol is getting too high, and I only get one cold cut a week. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to eat my roast beef and Swiss. You don't understand. I've seen your like before. There's always some crisis, some higher purpose, some infernal prophecy. You can wait for me to finish my roast beef and Swiss, or you can go to hell. Thankfully, the idiot stood silent. From shock, perhaps, but silent nonetheless. I took my first glorious bite. Or he took his first glorious bite. It was going to be first person when I first started writing. Or tried to, anyways. The sandwich disintegrated in a red flash that burrowed into the desk, leaving a 6-inch hole all the way into the subfloor. Goddamn time travelers. You can always spot them. Sure, the anachronisms in dress were a good hint. Everything a little too new for being so old, that sort of thing. But that could just be a hipster with access to high-quality vintage. There were also the way they spoke, ever so slightly slow on recalling common slang while the quick recall current events, as though they'd been studying the subject. That could be a neurodivergent struggling to fit in. No, the giveaway was that damned self-importance. Like they're the only thing in the room that matters and everyone. Oh, I didn't even complete that. Everyone else's life had already been written. And Frank was a magnet for them. Kind of like that fella out west who'd been struck by lightning half dozen times. So yeah, that's kind of the startings of a. It's my first I woke up from a dream with the idea, and I wrote down just some notes. It was eccentric time travel comedy, murder mystery, school locker. I don't remember what that means. Tired, cynical cop, and then weird abilities from time travel.
I do remember you briefly mentioning it last time. The idea, or not last time we were on stream, but when we were at Rob's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a cool idea. His personality definitely shines through in this short amount that we've already seen him. Definitely looks like a beautiful juxtaposition.
Yeah, so I'm thinking he's like a magnet for time travelers, some, you know, axis point in his life is a fixed position in time, and he wants nothing to do with it.
uh, Always an interesting concept, fixed points.
Yeah. Because I've always been kind of interested in the different theories of time travel, different stories, the way that they've done it. Like Star Wars, at least in the the old expanded universe, time travel was possible and impossible because time would fix itself so that anything you did got undone. Like time restricted. Like if you went back in time and changed something, everything would converge to make it like you'd never changed anything.
So it's like, yes, you can go back. You can experience those things. But ultimately, it's all going to heal up and nothing you changed will matter.
Yeah, so it's like time was its own living entity in a way, and that I like to think that's kind of what's happened with the Legend of Zelda, where there were three distinct timelines, maybe four, but Breath of the Wild is like all of them. We don't have confirmation, and it doesn't sound like they're going to give us confirmation that that's what it is,
Right.
or if it's just one of the timelines, because they want to kind of reset it. That's my internal head canon, is that the time, or even the goddess of time, has slowly reweaved things back together, so that all those timelines weaved into one after thousands of years.
Yeah, and after the events of Skyward Sword.
Yeah, because Skyward Sword um, was the beginning, and then Ocarina of Time split off timelines.
Oh, okay.
Based on, because there's the timeline of the hero failed altogether because um he wasn't there because he traveled through time to the future. Then there's the timeline of the hero won because he went to the future. And then there's a timeline of where he went back to being a kid. So there's three timelines.
And if I recall, isn't it supposed to be that there is not just one Link?
Yeah, like Zelda is a reincarnation, but Link it's left purposely ambiguous if he is a reincarnation or a just some guy who embodied the spirit of courage. Um, and just stood up and did the right thing at the right time.
Yeah.
From the Hyrule Historia, it's purposely ambiguous, and they don't plan to ever say if it's one or the other. Then there's the Dragon Ball Z and Back to the Future, where every time you travel through time, it creates a new timeline.
Right, and that's what I was going to mention on the healing timelines being ultimately no different than the multiple was it multiple branches?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, okay, you went back in time and you did something. Then you went back to your own time and nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Because that made a new timeline. It didn't change yours.
Yeah. And we learn in Dragon Ball Super that every time that happens, a ring is created with the Kai who's in charge of time, so that those timelines can be accessed. Something like that. There was a ring for each timeline split.
And so you said that was in Dragon Ball Super?
Yeah, in Dragon Ball Super, they did.
What was that?
They went back to Trunks' timeline.
That the live action
For,
one, or
no, that is the new animated one.
okay? I don't think
It
I've seen anything of it.
They said Dragon Ball GT is no longer canon. We're going back and doing Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, so many of them I haven't seen.
They did movies of all the Dragon Ball Super seasons. So if you want to catch up, that's a quick way to do it. It includes all the important stuff.
Yeah, it is, of course, Dragon Ball tradition to stretch things out to the extreme.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And of course, I've at some point I had caught up on all of Dragon Ball Abridged. Don't remember a whole lot of it.
There's a lot to remember. It's hard.
So do you have any idea which version you're going to be using for your time travel?
I think I'm gonna leave it a little ambiguous, and Frank's just gonna have his theories. And it could be that if I wrote multiple books, it could explore different ones in each book.
Yeah, I think it's good to leave it ambiguous since we're really following him and he's not a time traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever method it is, it has to be something where he's still being able to be aware every time they show up. And they clearly think that change can be made.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that stuck up attitude of their lives are already written kind of belies that a bit. I don't know. But then we do see that a fair bit in other media with time travelers. You know, they're always like, oh no, if we do one wrong thing, we're going to mess up the timeline. Like, yeah, but couldn't you also do good things to drastically improve the timeline?
Yeah. Oh, but it's too dangerous. You never know.
And
Yeah, but I mean, you already never know.
yeah, you already never know. And who's to say yours is actually among the better ones?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just,
What was that?
egocentrism. It's because it's mine.
Yeah, it's because it's my timeline. What was it? There was a show. It was a sci-fi show. It was about a cop who gets sent back in time. She was trying to stop some terrorists, and they all travel back to the modern day. And so she's trying to find a way home while also trying to keep them from doing whatever they're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
And spoilers, but end of the first season, she realizes she's never going home because time has changed. And different futures, like she contacts, and there's different futures now.
Yep.
And so, yeah, she's left with that dilemma, like, can I change anything back so I can get back to my family? Or do I try to make something better? Because the future that she came from was a very kind of scary one, but to her it was normal. There was the corporate Congress. Essentially, corporations bought out the country, and corporations ran everything.
That's kind of what I have in the precursor events for my Commonwealth stories.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, before the Commonwealth, it was, it was some kind of corporate council that ran everything. There was technically the Terran Authority as well, but like everybody knew that they were pretty toothless.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's actually now making me want to read from that
Okay.
story. Let's see. CSC, I think it's called. CSC Brave New Sky. Looks like the last time I was really working on it was 2021. That's the timeline. Right, it's not in this document. I started writing them separate. Which one is this? Wildsider Propaganda, that's 2. Celsia's Nightmares, Chapter 1. Lincoln Bear. Chutney Bartlett. Okay. Let's go to Chapter 2, because this is the one relevant to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So before this, we have a prologue that is back in the like 70s. I think it's 72.
Okay.
And we find that it is slightly alternate Earth history. Because America is divided into separate countries, into like 4 or 5 different countries.
Gotcha.
And some of them are working together to do a space program. It's a few years late, but Neil Armstrong still gets to go to the moon. Or Neil Armstrong? One of the two. Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. And they end up dying up there. And the President Nixon gives a speech that ends up kind of unifying a lot of people. And so we end up having our first crops on the moon by the late 90s.
Gotcha.
And then in Chapter 1, we have our anime tiger girl who's living on Mars. and she witnesses as the atmosphere is sucked out of the dome.
Oof.
While she's in a pressurized school um, for genetically altered people and cyborgs. The ones that most of society just doesn't like. Um, and so yeah, her grandparents who've been raising her almost certainly died in that. So and we hear stuff about how in their the mining companies have been uh, running the um, running the workers ragged, especially the wild children, the animal people. And Valencia Rota is the father of Chelsea's friend. And he apparently got put in some kind of like exposure chamber, unlikely to survive for how long they put him in. And so that then leads us into the next chapter, Wild Cider Propaganda. Billions of unsecured monitors across the core, all lit up simultaneously. For others, the message played in their ear or eye implants. A skinny human wearing jeans, a patchwork shirt containing South African designs, and large-rimmed glasses set upon the androgynous face that carried features of every human ethnicity, culminating in a vaguely not quite Asian appearance. Everything about them looked almost real, but every detail was selected and sculpted in their virtual environment by a committee of brains who orchestrated the broadcast. Greetings, fellow citizens. It's been some time since I've been able to reach out to all of you like this. The corporations are hot on our heels ever since my last broadcast, where I announced my friend's bold stand against their tyranny. I hope you remember the day that Mar Geo imprisoned, tortured, and executed our chief negotiator, Valencia Rota. Next to the speaker appeared a copper-dusted face of a grizzled old panther wearing a hard hat. On the other side, a small box played footage from the domes and stations across and above Mars as they rapidly depressurized. Mr. Rhoda believed the corporations could still be reasoned with. Fortunately, he was wrong. That following day, we showed the dedication and might of coordinated workers no longer willing to suffer their lashes. In the years since, Mar Geo has raided several wild child gatherings and killed many anthros. As they spoke, the white void behind them filled with footage from the various raids. Mar Geo corporate soldiers blasting into glades and hydroponics bays full of animal people and gunning down families. Mar Geo thinks every wild child is one of our wildsiders. They slaughter our friends and families and people we've never known indiscriminately, just because their ancestors purchased similar gene packages. But we stand firm against them, for it is better to die fighting our oppressors than to live every day new deaths churning in their gears. The footage faded to the old Terran Authority flag, waving behind the speaker, superimposed on a series of old national and international monuments from before the pollution and the alien infestation made Terra's surface uninhabitable. I mourn the loss of every life that was never allowed to truly live, and I celebrate every time someone breaks away from their corporate masters and tastes freedom for the first time. That is what the Terran Authority once stood for. The idea that everyone deserves equal protection under the law, that no one is above the law, not even the CEOs. Some view the corporations as our saviors from the AI swarms released by warring Terran and lunar empires. But we know today that it was the megacorps who orchestrated the language wars to wipe away the very concepts of the rule of law, to establish modern rentism with never-ending charges for every use of every obscure intellectual property, and externism, pitting us all against each other for the crumbs of employment in ever more meaningless and alienating jobs. But that is all the distant past. It happened in your parents' childhoods. Finding themselves in the white void again, the speaker walked toward the viewer with fingers lightly touching in a calm, contemplative posture. You know, I'm often asked why we call ourselves Wildsiders. I'm also asked what it is we hope to accomplish. There are so few of us compared to the might of our corporate enemies, and without laws for the crumbling shell of the once great Terran Authority to even enforce, how could we ever hope to prevail? After all, we aren't even able to hold on to the universal basic income so many lauded as the only thing that would keep capitalism going. The answers to these questions are all tied together. One image showed the very first cartoon tiger, an animal engineered with simple genetics and a distinctly matte color saturation that made it look impossibly two-dimensional. The wealthy wanted designer animals, and with enough funding, almost anything was possible. Even violations of long-standing laws against human experimentation has never stopped those who are truly dedicated. I'll remind you of the old saying, if the punishment for breaking a law is a fine, that's not a punishment, it's the cost of getting caught. The globe zoomed in on the Indian subcontinent, then into the province of Pakistan, before settling upon a British military base, converted for experimentation. Other images panned over various cartoon animal people in cryotubes, then their physical tests with weights and track and field, and finally their time in classrooms together. Wild children, or anthros, or humanimals, whatever name you prefer, are a special gift that humanity has created for ourselves. No, not as physical labor. We have plenty of machines for that. They are our blessing as observers, as mirrors, as comrades. Humanity uplifted animals to share in the experience of intelligence, and we quickly kicked them down into slavery, not because we need their physical work, but to control them. To point every human to look at their plight and thank the corporations that at least we have it better than the animal people. They kept talking as the faces of various human rights leaders from history floated back behind the speaker. This, of course, isn't new. They used to pit whites against peoples of color. Lighter-skinned Africans versus darker-skinned Africans. Han Chinese versus everyone else, and so many more. The speaker paused, shaking their head in sadness as footage showed the riots and abuse of animal people and other cartoon hybrids. As the footage moved on in time, many anthros became more and more realistic mimics of their respective species. One image filled the screen. An animated tiger woman in a blue suit testifying before the Terran Congress, intense passion flaring in her enormous eyes. The speaker held her image in front of their chest and continued, "During the brief peace between the language wars, Dr. Herodotus, the creator of the Anthros, would put on trial for his illegal experiments. It didn't matter that others had taken his work and mass-produced commercial lines of engineered people. He broke the law to create his children. It wasn't until Mavian Gray, one of his prototypes, emerged from cryo to testify on his behalf that all intelligent beings were granted the full rights of humanity. Looks like giving her a PhD in geopolitical theory paid off. If she'd stayed here in the Corps, we might not be in our present predicament. After the Second Language War, the TA could no longer enforce our equal rights, and the corporations have been treating non-humans worse and worse every year. Stars spiraled around the speaker as they pressed up their glasses. But the wild children see what is happening. My animal friends see the destiny of humanity. Ever since we created rejuvenation and regeneration, the wealthy live forever young, and poor humans work their health away in the hopes of affording a treatment every 30 to 50 years. This is a violation of the wild way. Life, growth, adaptation, evolution requires death. Humanity has grown stagnant. That is their destiny now, as long as they refuse to change. The wealthy grow and feed upon everyone else, bleeding us dry of the resources we all need to survive. The rich get richer, and the poor do all the dying. A black flag, raised, emblazoned with a stylized red, blue, and white tribal eye. Some parts of it curved more like claws than lashes, making some question if the red was a bloody wound. I joined the Wildsiders to be like a natural killer cell in the corporate cancer, cutting away at that which starves us and holds us back. As long as we persist and adapt, we win, regardless of how long we must keep up the fight. So listen to me now. I'm not calling on all of you to join us in the larger fight. I'm only asking that this next month you all work a little slower. Find some things in your job that justify taking extra time and do so. If you can, arrange a day for you and your coworkers to suddenly strike this month. A little bit doesn't do much, but a little bit all over can be very effective in disrupting the machine of oppression. After all, they don't actually need the products you make. They have enough. What they need from you is obedience, order, passivity. The least you can do is make them work for it. Thank you for listening. As the message came to a close, Administrator Chutney Bartlett put down the recording on her mahogany desk. Her posh office aboard the Bartlett's palace sang the praises of her many great accomplishments for her company, Margio. A month. Talk about a broad window of attack. But the Board of Immortality wants this debacle tied up before fourth quarter. She raised her hand to cut off any objections before it could rise. I don't care that you lied about your age out of cryo to join my forces. Thank you for your eventual honesty. If you're sure you can track them down, I'll put you in as an advisory lead of the squadron. Cadet Chelsea Muniz saluted. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Bartlett signed a data pad with gold filigree borders, handing it over to the young cadet. She spoke sternly. Now get out there and hunt down these terrorists before more people suffer like your grandparents. Clicking her gray uniform heels, the tiger woman departed to hunt her most dangerous prey. Her own people.
A lot of good world building there.
And of course, this cadet is the daughter of that tiger lady who gave the impassioned speech.
Oh, of course.
Because they're two of the main characters in the ensemble cast. A lot of the story will center around Mavian Gray, Chelsea Muniz, her daughter.
Hmm.
Um, what was the captain's name? I can't remember suddenly. It was originally Shepard. It might actually still be. It was Anatolia, I believe, is part of his really long freaking name. Um, find Captain. The Director Gray and Captain von Anatolia. Did I ever write down his full name? It probably won't be under Captain. So, Anatolia. But, yeah. They're some of the major characters. There's also the Doctor and his husband, Twink and Bear. Um, and I haven't introduced him yet, but there's the chief security officer aboard the ship. He's gonna be a rather significant character. And there's lots of chapters that don't directly follow the main characters. And it's been a while since I really put much thought into this story. Chapter 3. Right, that's Twink and Bear. Hmm. Right, this is the one where they destroy the Corpo, where the Commonwealth actually gets created. Yeah, I think I was going to change the ending of that last one. Um, make it less. In fact, actually, it looks like I might be removing it. I'm calling this one Chapter 2.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Hmm?
I just haven't heard from you for a while.
Oh, no, I've been here.
Okay. um, yeah, Chutney Bartlett smiled as she scrolled through the battle reports on her papers. Wildsider camps were falling all over the system. More importantly, her latest recruit was doing quite well. Her supervisors were skeptical of letting an anthro fly their fighters, but Cadet Muniz hunted her own people better than any pilot in Margio's history. Chutney Bartlett, she stated her name to the secretary. I've been summoned to report to the board. The cybernetic secretary looked up to her with boredom, the lights on her neural crown indicating that other portions of her brain were likely off in some computer space with friends. So Bartlett just took a seat, guards looking her over with suspicion. She knew they were probably discussing her with the other guards in Central Command in a secure end channel. Unlike most, she knew the scrutiny of that many people looking through a single pair of eyes, or two pairs in this case. Her own security would do the same, but with them, she'd at least be able to read a transcript of their shared thoughts on her screen, even if she wasn't equipped to receive the thoughts directly. Watching the bustling station pass by the window, Bartlett felt a sense of extreme satisfaction, knowing it was her work that kept these multi-trillion-dollar communities safe. As the window kept spinning, her smile widened upon seeing her palace ship, docked at the center of C-Ring. It was one of the few palace ships left from the original line, made during the Second Language War. Of course, it had been stripped of all AI, replaced with a library of brains in sustenance vats, connected to the computers, and communicating over hyper-end channels of their own. And the crowning jewel of her palace was her copy of Frank, the only successful transferred human intelligence, sustained in a massive quantum computer. Her ARM computer beeped twice, very softly, drawing her attention. It displayed a summary of the recent battle on Deimos. Tapping one of her papers to the computer, the documents fed over for larger perusal. Oh, Chelsea, I knew you would find them. Traced a message from your old friend Veronica. Well, that's what they get for their terrorist ways. The large double doors opened, and the guards motioned for Miss Butler to enter. The room was massive, transparent steel walls looking out upon the star system with dozens of large seats. She looked upon the representatives and heads from every major corporation left in the core. She noted how many seats of government were now empty, their corporations having left to colonize other systems. Announcing to the Board of Immortality, Tactical Administrator Chutney Bartlett of Margio. As the speakers heralded her entry, she walked assuredly to the central dais. Representatives, CEOs, on behalf of Margio, I am proud to announce, we got him. Just 20 minutes ago, under the guidance of pilot Chelsea Muniz, my fighter squadrons laid waste to the Wildsider compound on Deimos. Those terrorists responsible for depressurizing 6 cities and 24 space stations almost 5 years ago are now confirmed dead. Several people clapped at her statement, hesitantly joined by others. But one of the larger chairs lit up, bringing silence to the chamber. James Hashimoto III leaned forward to speak. That is amazing news, Administrator. But it is not why we have called you here today. The tactical and espionage departments from 4 corporations have presented considerable evidence that you have been funding a radical group of your own. Does the name Sons of Science mean anything to you, Administrator? Her heart rate raised, and she sweated under the cool interview light. Noting the deviation, her computer transmitted her condition to her doctor aboard her palace. Oh, trying to warn your co-conspirators. We've shielded this chamber from all radio communications. The room rotated to place her palace right behind her, and Hoshimoto motioned for her to turn around. Everything you have worked for, stripped for your disloyalty to the corporations. Weapon systems all over the station opened fire on the ship as she ran up to the wall, screaming. First, they cut the ship from the station, then surgically sliced it to pieces, such that the escaping gases propelled most of the wreckage away from the station's structure. More threatening pieces were themselves blasted into smaller components the stationary auxiliary fields axial fields could deflect. Another voice asked, "How long have you been supporting the Sons of Science?" A third questioned, "Who are their leaders? Where are they operating?" Chutney cried against the curve of the transparent wall until cybernetically enhanced guards hauled her into a chair on the dais. They asked her again. She replied weakly, I only worked with a few of them. Gave them space on my ship, resources." She looked up to Hoshimoto and the other top CEOs with daggers in her eyes. "They will get you. The SOS are the answer to the cry of our people, calling out from under your tyranny. You can't silence them. They are everywhere. Now that you know they exist, they will act. That is precisely what we are counting on," Hoshimoto boasted. "We've known about these rogue scientists for decades, but they never do anything overtly, just waiting and researching. They are careful to hide their connections, much like the wildsiders you've been hunting. How unfortunate for them that such a major benefactor became so famous and infamous for supporting an anthro in command of such an important investigation. Now the SOS will act openly, and we will eliminate them all without any publicity. They are, after all, scientists, not trained fighters." Hoshimoto walked down to the dais, his black and blue business kimono shimmering as the lights moved to stay on him. "As far as the records will show, you finally decided to take your palace to start a colony of your own. You will never be heard from again, except in the ears of our interrogators." As he circled her chair, preparing his next showboating statement, he suddenly fell into a flaming hole in the floor that vanished as quickly as he had. Stunned cries of fear and surprise filled the chamber. A miniature sun erupted in space amid the wreckage of Bartlett's palace. Weapons opened fire upon the orange sphere to no effect, even as more CEOs disappeared into burning rings. As guards rushed to her chair, Chutney Bartlett stood up confidently. She looked at each, then read their confusion in their end channel as they realized she was no longer flagged as a target. "Check your authorizations, gentlemen. I am now in command here." She stalled as years of loyalty to her were uploaded to their brains. All service to the board selectively scrubbed from their memory and repurposed for the Sons of Science. Even as confused as they were, they saluted. "Sorry, CEO Bartlett. Your orders? Your orders?" "Hand down our weapons. We're just throwing munitions at the sun. Oh, and let it be known that today is a special holiday. Revolution Day. The day we become free of the corporations. Our SOS has been answered, and we will form a new government here for the well-being of all humanity. We will call it the Great Galactic Commonwealth. We will expand out into the stars, and there will be enough and to spare for everyone. We will clean out the alien infestation and radiation from Terra, and we will reclaim—" One guard raised his hand to interrupt. You want us to tell everyone all that?" She sighed, even knowing the memory would be recorded and could be easily redistributed. The camera was still human. Just stop the weapons. I'll handle the rest.
It was good. Caught myself reading ahead a lot. I wanted to get to it.
Yeah. That's all basically set up for the kinds of tensions that will be through the majority of the book.
Okay. Because yeah, you set up the corporations to be the big, big bad, and then boom, they're gone.
Right.
So leaves you wondering, okay, how bad are these new ones going to be?
And actually not.
No, yeah?
Yeah, the Sons of Science actually set up the Commonwealth, and it's actually really freaking good.
Oh, nice.
And it's still humans. People still make mistakes. Yeah. Oh, things aren't perfect, but yeah, they're really good. And there's all sorts of people who are like, you know, damn it, I liked it better in the under the corporations. Really? Yeah, because I was a bigwig.
Right.
And people eventually have, when they talk about this day, it's like, yeah, so it was bloodless, at least from the Sons of Science side. They didn't kill anybody, but you did rewrite people.
Yeah.
You completely uploaded new memories, which the other is, yeah, but they'd already been being rewritten by the companies. I mean, their loyalty to the companies was very programmed.
Gotcha.
So, were they their own people at that point? And we can, Monday morning quarterback it, now a few hundred years later. One of the other things with all of this is, so I've got two major story groups that come out of this, that same background. One is the Celestial Science Crusader, which is this top of the line ship made with combination of human and the first aliens that we actually encountered. They worked together to make this ship.
Okay.
Because, like, as we were spreading through the galaxy, we were finding, yeah, there were other aliens. We keep finding the ruins of their civilizations. But we finally found one where they were still alive. And the point of this ship is to explore past the edge of the current studied space. It's a very Star Trek inspired mission statement. Yeah, there is no terror tech. Like all corporations and private holdings, the resources of your old company now belong to the Galactic Commonwealth. Your personnel are under the authority of the Civilian Science Directorate. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, that's where he gives her the bad news of her um, of Chelsea's parents dying. Almost everyone in the Commonwealth lost family in those attacks. That precipitated our takeover. Olympus Mars, Europa 7, Luna Mare, Syndiquus. A lot of people died in less than 70 hours to those 3 attacks alone. Wildsider terrorists cult still exists today, but they've never regained the unity they had to pull off those first 3. Where's the part I'm looking for? Oh yeah, her daughter is the Master Chief aboard the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for a specific bit. Yeah, knight in shining armor, dude. Where is that one? As they walked through the pristine marble arches of the wide halls, Mavian Gray read her commission files, skimming over personnel and ship details that she would go over with greater scrutiny later. Ah, here it is. Our mission statement, short form, of course. To bravely explore the unknown reaches of space, to find new life forms and new civilizations, to document that which no one has seen before. She stopped in silence, blinking at the pad in her hands until the captain stopped and looked back at her. What? That's... Is this plagiarism? No, almost. Director, is something wrong with our orders? She started walking again, catching up with her captain in a couple long steps. Wrong? Oh no, what could be wrong? This is only the best mission I've been dreaming of my entire life. But I mean, they couldn't have gotten more Roddenberry unless they quoted the man directly. That's almost exactly Star Trek Original Series. Someone in the Science Commissioner's office is almost as much a retro sci-fi nerd as I am. So, yeah, her new ship is very much following the original Star Trek mandate.
Well, there you go. That's fun.
Yeah, I'm not planning that they actually get to that stuff until book 2.
Gotcha.
Book 1 is just trying to get out of our own territory and dealing with Wildsider terrorists and the various political tensions and yeah, they try to kill her a couple times. And then I have another storyline about a ship that left much earlier. So they left in the very first few years of the Commonwealth. Their ship was already being built by the corporations. Most of the people aboard the ship were fleeing, to set up their own colony, but they were very much in the corporate mindset. And so by the time they actually launch and leave, not all of them have fully signed on to, and embraced the concepts of what the Commonwealth is.
Gotcha.
And so one of the big tensions there when they crash land on an alien planet and meet the locals is you've got quite a mix of across humanity's range of acceptances. quite a mix of people who, they were leaving to be basically homesteaders.
Mm-hmm.
Take this planet and terraform it and make it their own. And now they're in a star system that's already inhabited with several, you know, perfectly fine worlds, but all of those worlds have, aliens on them.
Mm.
And now they have to learn to get along with them, and some of the people very much xenophobic. It's like, we're gonna, wipe out these, alien scum. We're the aliens here, dude. They are being generous in not just kicking us out.
Yeah.
We crash landed here. Yeah, they probably arranged it with the way their, intelligence beings were able to hack into our systems. They warned us that we were about to crash. We only survived because we got warned and decelerated just a bit. If they hadn't warned us, we would have splatted into that planet, and the planet and us would have been gone. Relativistic speeds. They be doing
Yeah.
that. But some people just really can't be reasoned with.
Yeah. It reminds me of I think it was a Tumblr post of like the humans are the weird ones after meeting aliens.
Oh yeah, I love those.
They was talking about how there was a new galactic policy put in place that whenever a human craft crash lands anywhere, you immediately go search for survivors because humans tend to survive. And when they survive, they start colonizing. Because they grow attached to this to their little place they survived on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think some of my favorites are the pair bonding ones.
Oh yeah?
Where it's like the aliens don't form, deep emotional attachments between groups. And they're like, no, get a human on your crew. No, they're not the strongest. No, they're not the smartest, the fastest. They're not the best at like anything.
Mm-hmm.
But they will hold your crew together. And if any of you is in danger, they will hunt down the danger. They won't care what species a member of your crew is. If they've bonded with them as fellow crew, they're gonna save you.
Just what we do. There was that one where there it was like just a short story with a very aggressive species meets one that has a human on board, and they're channeling them to surrender, and the guy uses his customer service skills to turn it around.
Oh, that's great.
Like, how did you do that? Oh, yeah, I worked customer service for like 5 years.
Then there's the ones where nobody else lies,
Mm.
and so like when humans are like, oh yeah, this thing is going on. It's like, oh no. Yeah, okay, well, I can't let that. It's like then the enemies leave and the other crew is like, we have to fix this thing. I said, don't worry about it. But it's gonna do this and you said it's gonna do this and it's not. Don't worry. I just said that to get them to leave. What?
Don't understand.
Had any more thoughts for getting back to Rhea, or?
A little. It's slowly coming back.
Yeah, definitely know how that goes. Did not mean to close that. I'm still working on it. Excusez-moi. Oh, I didn't realize that we had somebody in chat. I don't know how long ago.
I don't know.
Adriano YT. Pot friend.
I already ate, but I feel like my blood sugar's crashing. That's weird.
Huh.
Maybe I'm just. I didn't get to sleep as soon as I meant to this morning. Could just be that. Up another couple extra hours, and then I woke up a little early to get to here. So my work schedule's changing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be every other Saturday and Sunday again, like still, but it won't be like varying. It'll be always every other Sunday/Saturday. So I'll be able to consistently show up on the opposite weeks if we want to continue doing this.
I would very much like to.
Cool.
See. Trying to think. Any other things you wanted to share with me, or?
Not that I can think of.
Think of any I'd specifically want to share with you.
All right. We could call it here for now.
All right.
You can get back to your Hades or whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of trying out the new patch for Soulstone Survivor.
Okay. I don't think I've played that one.
Apparently, they just added a new character class, the Engineer.
Fun. I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley because I hadn't done the 1.5 content yet, so I played that on the Switch and then convinced my wife that we should get it on the computers, and we've been playing that together with the new 1.6 version.
Oh. I also just remembered there's another one that I wanted to do today. DoronkoWanko. A really new game where you play as a Pomeranian whose goal is to mess everything up.
Nice.
I get the impression that it's kind of like the that Goose
Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah. Let's see. Switch this to DoronkoWanko. Oh my. I didn't realize it was going to be in Japanese.
Well, maybe there's an English option somewhere.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go. I've got to go clear some weeds. Enjoy.
Indeed.
And
And
we'll see
thank
you
you
around.
for joining me.
Yeah. Laters.
Bye. And sound effects. That's resolution. Mouse controls. That's the user license. Credits. Aha, English. Okay. And let's get the stream switched over. This is, what was it called again? DoronkoWanko. Pomeranian DoronkoWanko. Update. Update. Pomeranian Terror. DoronkoWanko. Gaming. DoronkoWanko. Edit. DoronkoWanko. Apparently there are 49 people currently viewing DoronkoWanko. Alrighty. Try out this silly little game. I'm usually much more of a cat person, but when I saw this cute game on think it was Liu Lemon or Lime. Yeah, I think Lime. She did a short of it, and it was just adorable. Daddy. Oops. New house. 1 week later. Okay, they've moved in. Nice. It's a very modern place. No celebration hats? Or is that a piping or a cake? And she falls asleep. Playing in the mud. Okay, so splash the dirt with right trigger. Cover yourself with dirt in left trigger. We've got left trigger to rub, splash, put off, promote, action, jump, camera, zoom in, zoom out, right bumper to dash. Okay. Find the hidden painting. Select all the paintings to open the door. Yeah, you know, butt. Woo! Oh, I need more dirt. Hard-working coworker. Yeah, just spreading it around. You gonna stay stuck in the corner? There we go. Now, I don't know if I have to stay on it for it to keep doing this. Yeah, it doesn't spread it on its own. Oh, a delivery? Man. I'm an artist. Oh, what's that up there? Okay, so nope, that doesn't turn on. That just keeps going the same places. Nope, can't flip that. Boom! New! Okay, get this off of me. I want to try something else. It doesn't make me orange? Oh yeah, there it goes. Oh, we've got other colors going on. Oh, yes, green. Dominated living room. Go into the kitchen. Huzzah! New paint, new goal. Kitchen invasion. I'm just such a little sponge. What's that? Oh, white. Oh, it's a wheel. Huh. I don't know what this is on. Blah. Okay. All right, are you just going to keep rotating in the same little area? while you're being useless. Well, I think I need to take this upstairs. Oh. Okay, so that's a few of them. Just so many colors. New box with an elephant head. Oh, it sprays. Just everywhere. Okay. Get some green to add to this bear. Not quite purple, but it'll do. I see a new hat, I think. I am the very model of a modern Major General. Didn't get to the mute in time. Come on, pick it up, pick it up. There we go. Oh, it's a little ghosty. Oh, that's how we get up there. Okay. Oof, that was a balloon of paint. Okay, so that's 3 of, what was it, 12? Oh, I have both ghosts on me. Hey. All the things everywhere. It's a shark head. Relaxing. Get me out! Oh, I think I just head bashed. A whale. All these boxes. Really getting in the way. In the way or being of help? Get me all inked up. Oop. Oh, it vanished. Right, that's 4 of 12. Oh. It needs another candle. Where would I find a candle? Oh, I thought that was a candle. Man! Spread things so crazy. Yeah, you can just sleep through anything, can't you? I think that's 5 of 12. And another wheel. Welcome home. A little cannon. A little cannon. Escape. Feel like there should be at least one more of these little ghosts. Right, let's get all inked up again and go for a run. Let's see. Hey, not that I've gone down here yet. Oh, this is the one that opens at 12. The Pomelisa! Oh no! Not the wine! Oh, now we're talking. Now we have the devastation. The wine cellar. Just ba-boom. Oh, hello. How do I get up there then? Ah. Okay, just painting everything. Clogged pipe. Just absolute devastation. Okay, oh right, it's in here. Sure what that's for. Oh! The wine deluge. Oh! That is way bigger than I anticipated. Oh, where'd she go? Hmm. Okay. See the trophy. Hmm. Oh, kind of zoned out there. Hmm. Come on. Oh. Hmm. Huh. I seem to be a little angel dodo now. Oh, and the gun vanished. Eh. I don't know. I got everything in the wine cellar. Almost everything in the living room. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, it keeps zoning out. I don't know. I'll probably go just a few more minutes before I call things for tonight. Yeah, got that one. But yeah, not really being able to identify anything further here. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Dang it. Well, wait, there was an interact with that. Okay, well, that was an interesting little thing. But I think I am going to call the stream there tonight.